Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to An Orange Life. Thanks for tuning in. I hope everyone enjoyed their Thanksgiving because now it's time to get ready for Christmas, y'all. And New Year's. Lord Jesus. Who got the money? I'm rewrapping gifts from last year, child. That people gave me. I don't know what else to do. Um, Thank you to any new subscribers I picked up along the way. Thank you those who are commenting and sharing and liking and what you do. So thank you so much. I'm very appreciative. I People who have signed up for the free support group, it will be going on after the holidays. I haven't put it together just yet because we're in the holiday season and this is a good and a bad time for people. So I think starting off in the new year, especially during the cold winter months, and we're going to be having a lot going on next year in this world, I think the support group will be more effective after the holidays because we're supposed to have some crazy stuff going on next year. I mean, we're going to have, a new president and well, not a new president, but an old president is back in office. And it's just a lot of changes coming. So it would be nice. I think the support group will be needed starting the first of the year. So anyone who is interested in signing up for the free support group, it costs you nothing. I'm not selling nothing. It is just a free support group that is needed right now for what's going on in the world. It's just a place for us to come together, talk, network, vent, whatever, just trying to support each other getting through this time because it's time to build a community. For those of you who don't have a community, I'm trying to build a small community where we can come together, support each other, talk about what's going on, and just have a place for us to chat, vent, and get some good advice or, just help people along the way. So, it's not costing you a dime. So I do have things that I sell. I have my therapeutic calls and I have, ebooks, the little things that I may sell, but the support group is absolutely free. I will not be offering anything in the support group for sale because that's not what it's for. It's for us to support one another. It's not, emotionally and things like that. Now, once we're in the support group, if we decide that we want to help each other market or sell, that's something different. But me, myself, I'm not charging anyone. I'm not promoting anything within the support group. That's something that as the support group grows, and if people want to network their businesses or help market businesses, then that's something we can do later. But as of right now, we're starting off on a support group just to support each other. So, having said that, let's jump into this video. Again, if you need a therapeutic call, the link is below. Now, if you haven't been watching Later Daters on Netflix, you need to start watching it. It's entertaining, especially if you're a person of a certain age. Now, if you don't have Netflix, borrow it because you can borrow somebody's Netflix, you just can't keep it. So, borrow it so that you could look at it, but it's actually really good. And for those of you that don't know what the show is about, who hasn't been watching it, the show is about singles dating over 50. And what makes this interesting is that I'm on episode 4 now, and what makes this interesting is that I'm looking at these people and they have the same problems as, their children, and it's just funny, and it's a good show to watch. I like it because it seems genuine. It doesn't seem scripted. It seems real. These people really, what I'm watching, it seems like that this is the reality of it. Like, how some of these shows are scripted and stuff like that, but I don't see this with this Netflix special. And trust me, this show has some craziness, just like the other dating shows. But it's funny. It's tearful at times. It's funny. It just seems like a really good show. Now let's jump right in because I have to break this down. You know how we do this on Orange Life. I got to break it down. Now, first out the gate, I'm going to talk about Nate. Now, on the show, I don't like Nate. Nate is the typical man that most women don't want to talk to. And the reason, when I say most women, I mean good women. Nate is ex-military. Nate is a OCD neat freak, stuff like that. And he's also a colorist. If you watch the show, you'll see he's a colorist because he goes on. I'm on episode 4, and by episode 4, he's went on 3 dates, and out of the 3 dates, the first 2 women, he found the smallest thing to be wrong with them that he don't want to see them no more. But the third woman he got to, now let me just back up a little bit. He went on a date with one woman, I can't remember her name. Nice looking woman, pleasant, as the red pill community like to say, feminine, fit, and friendly. Okay? He didn't like her because he said that she would have him in church every Sunday. Well, the woman never said she went to church. All she said is that she believed in God and she put him first. That's all she said. She ain't say nothing else. This woman had no kids and she's never been married. So she would have been a good candidate for him because he has 2 children that are grown and he's divorced. And this woman has no ties. So she could do whatever she wanted to do. She seemed very pleasant, very feminine, nice looking woman. He ain't want her. He the one that asked her. They were just met, and he asked her, "Does she believe in God?" And she said, "Oh yes." And she did check like he check off the boxes, and she was like, "God is first in my life." That's all the woman said. Now how he got every Sunday out of that is beyond me. But that's what she said, and she thought the date went well because again there was nothing wrong with this woman, but he said he ain't want her. So forget her. So the next woman he went out with was Anise, and we'll get to her later. Anise is also one of the participants of the show. Now, the first woman isn't one of the participants on the show. She's one of the dates that was brought in. But Anise is one of the participants, so she also went on a date with Nate. Now, Nate is either 55 or 56, and Anise is 62. Now, let me just set the groundwork on this one for those who haven't been watching it. Anise is 62, but she's a beautiful 62. She doesn't look her age. She's very active. She has a body that is unreal for a 62-year-old. That woman got a body like a 22-year-old, okay? That woman got it going on. And she's well put together and everything else. The only drawback with Anise is that some of her outfits she looked like she got stock in Forever 21. I think that Anise, for her age, some of her clothes are inappropriate for her age bracket. And for example, she had on this like black dress, kind of like a blazer dress of some kind with this long with a train to it, but it was a mini dress. It like just covered her behind a little bit lower, and she had the cleavage showing. So I think for 62 that was a bit much. Now she could have still worn the same dress, but maybe bring the length of the skirt down some more and then maybe put a camisole on under it. She could have pulled off the same thing and it would have been classy. So she wants to dress young. And my thing is you could dress young but still appropriate. That's the thing. So that's the only problem I see with the niece, other than some other things we'll get to later. But now, when he went on a date with a niece, he says his excuse for her was that women get, we get older and she'll break down. He didn't want a woman older than him because he was 55 and she was 62. The problem with that is that this is why I don't like Nate. You say you don't want her because, women start, people start breaking down referring to her, but you the one that can't do what she does. She's physically fit and active and he's not. I'm not saying he's not physically fit, but he's not active because he can't be. He said he injured his back falling out of a plane. He injured his back and his knee. He's unable to hike and run and this and that. And Anise does all that. So who you think gonna break down first, him or her? Somebody that's active, that takes care of their body, that eats healthy and is very much into, their health, or somebody like Nate who doesn't exercise at all. And I'm not gonna say doesn't exercise at all, but I think he doesn't really. And I don't know what his eating habits are, but Elise has healthy eating. Anise, excuse me, has healthy eating habits. So you tell me who gonna break down, because it seems to me you the one with the broken bones. So you the one that had broken bones and had injuries. So you the one that would be probably more at risk of breaking down before she will, regardless of her age, because she takes care of herself. And she's been doing it for a long time. You could tell. And she's had work done. We see that she had work done, but so what? She looks great. Whatever work she had done, it doesn't look like these other women out here. So whatever work she had done, she don't have the Kardashian look. She ain't got that going on. So that's fine. But anyway, moving on. So Nate gets to the third woman, and this woman is biracial, long hair, boobs hanging out. She was another one that was dressed inappropriate. Now, he found excuses for the other two women because both he wasn't see the what this is what I believe with my analytical eye. The first woman, he didn't like her because she wasn't more of a thought for him. She was probably too nice, too wholesome for him. He don't want that. He didn't want Anise because she seemed too old for him. That's what he thinks. And he probably knows he can't do his simple shit on Anise because he probably knows she gonna check me when I try to do something stupid. Now, he gets to this chick with the boobs hanging out and the horrible makeup. I don't know who did her makeup, Lord Jesus. And not to talk about the woman, because I don't like to talk about women, but I'm just going to say this. For the age of this woman, the way she was dressed was very inappropriate. Also, her makeup was a little bit too much. But when Nate saw her, she's beautiful. This and the third, and this and that. Well, the other two women were beautiful too. But see, what happened was this was the lightest skinned woman he came across. And I'm not finished. That's how I know why he's a colorist, because I know people can say, "Oh, well, just because he likes her, that he might just be more attracted to her. It might not be her skin tone." I'm getting ready to tell you. So he kept complimenting her how beautiful she is. Oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, you're so beautiful. This and that. Oh, yes, we can this and we can that. This and that. So during the date, she asked him about his children. So he said he had two daughters. Now, he told her that his oldest daughter had got a scholarship to college, but something happened in school and it was unfortunate. She had to come home. He said she never came home because he told his daughter she couldn't come back to his house and she couldn't go back to her mother's house. So the daughter enlisted in the Navy. That's what the daughter did because she couldn't come home. So she went into the Navy. That's a red flag for me. Why would you tell your college age daughter that she couldn't come home if she had an issue in school? Why would you tell her that? Even if let's say she lost her scholarship. So for her to lose her scholarship, she must have flunked out. So did she go to school and party or not do what she's supposed to do? Okay, probably that happened. But telling your daughter you can't come home and she winds up in the military, that doesn't turn out well. Because of the simple fact, if something happens to your daughter in the military, y'all kind of made her go because she ain't had nowhere else to go. Then y'all are going to feel guilty because of what happened to her and she's going to resent you. So why would you do that? So anyway, back to what I was saying. I was just saying that because I don't like Nate, and this is why. And so he tells her that his daughter can't come back. Well, she in turn says that she has two children at home that are in their 30s. I think she said one was 34 and the other one I think was 36 or something like that. And she said they staying at home with her. And you know what this fool said? He said, "Well, that's a yellow flag. It's normally a red flag for me because I don't like women that have grown kids at home, but it's a yellow flag, but it's okay. They'll be leaving." I was like, I can't believe what I'm looking at. This man already said he didn't want women with kids at home. But for her, because she looks like, he fascinated with her. Oh, she can have kids at home though. Whatever she do is right. Now, mind you, this woman, to me, the other two women are more attractive than her. But when I say more attractive, they have more on the ball and more put together. This other woman seems like she's a flake. But because she's attractive to him, none of that stuff matters. None of that matters. The other two women that came to the table, they had their stuff together. They were dressed nice, well groomed, dressed appropriately, because even Anise was dressed when she went to go meet Nate. She had on a nice pantsuit. Her first outfit with the first guy, and we'll get to Anise later because Lord knows that was funny as hell. The first guy, that's when she wore something that her daughter should have wore. But when she went with Nate, she had on a nice pantsuit that was fitting for where, she really looked nice. He don't like that. He likes them like her with the woman had on a bra top. That was another thing. It wasn't even a top. It was a bra top with a jacket that was open in the back with the bra strap showing, the bad makeup. I'm like, child, Lord Jesus. Anyway, so um, he was all into that. You couldn't, he was, oh, she's beautiful. This is how I like her. Then she asked to take a selfie, and he was like, oh, you want to take a selfie? Now, the reason why I bring that up, because I forgot to mention, on the first date with the woman, he asked her for a selfie because he said, when we go on our second date, I have a picture of when we went on our first date. He knew he wasn't going back out with that woman. So why did you ask for a picture? Why? Why would you ask for a picture if you know you wasn't going back out with her? Because he knew he wasn't going back out with her. He just want to get out there and brag. Look who I went out with. That kind of stuff. He is immature. And I'm like, this man is 50 something years old and you still ain't grow up. I'm like, ugh. Anyway, um, so Nate, I don't like. And I'm only on episode 4. I'm not finished because I'm going to come back with another video when I finish it. But I don't like Nate. So next, I'm going to talk about Anise. Now, as I said, Anise, she dresses like she has stock in Forever 21. I do like Anise, but she needs to, because some of the things she wears is really nice. Anise is smart, educated, beautiful woman, great body, but she really does need to work on that wardrobe though. Because I was like, honey, child, listen. Anyway, and and before anybody says that somebody's jealous or this and that, listen, I don't care about that. I don't care about none of that. I've never been jealous of another woman. That's something I've never been jealous of because whatever other women got out here, I can get to. So it's not a big deal to me. So anyway, um, she went out on a couple dates, and then the one date she went out with this Caucasian man, and she's never been out on a date with a Caucasian man before, and the man was from England. And she liked the date, but she liked the date, but she didn't like him. And I think she probably caught the vibe that he didn't care much for her because what he said was he doesn't like the fact that she's never dated a Caucasian man before, even though to me that doesn't make a difference. Because just because you never dated I've never dated an Asian man before. But if I met an Asian man that actually I liked and he liked me, then I wouldn't have a problem with it. I would talk to an Asian man. That does not bother me. But that's what I'm saying. For him to make that decision that she's never dated a Caucasian man before, he didn't want to date her. And now this is what strikes me as strange. The Caucasian man said he only dates black women and he has biracial children. That's a red flag to me. When I say it's a red flag, when a man says he only dates a certain race other than his own, then a bell goes off for me because some of these men be having fetishes. And this is why they do that. That's just like a black man that only wants white women. There is something wrong there. So that would be a red flag to me. It's not a red flag if he dated black women along with other women. That's other races of cultures of women. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, when a man says he only dates a certain race outside of his own, there's something going on there. Because um how it works is that we're socialized and raised to be attracted to our own race. Now, can we be attracted to other races? Sure. It's not that we can't. But what it is, the norm for most of us is when we grow up in this life and we grow up in this world, we tend to gravitate people who look and act and do the things that we do that we grew up in. That's why it's so many cultures. But for you to say, I only want to date, say, Caucasian, or I only want to date Latino, or I only want to date uh, Asian, you can't, that's weird, because that means you're like totally disregarding everyone else in your culture. And that's something that's not like the norm. And I'm not saying that the person is crazy or anything, but there's some issues there, because I would want to know why do you only date black women? And he said something about, oh, black women are smart and this and that. No, because there's smart white women, Caucasian women too. So it's just something that just, and when it comes to, see, that's another thing. Let's just say hypothetically that he's attracted to black women because of black women's figures, because we know that black women are more voluptuous than Caucasian women. Caucasian women like to be a size 0 to 5, okay? Black women, that's not our goal. We don't want to be a 0 to 5. We like to have hips and butt, because that's what the men in our culture like. So if this man, let's say that this Caucasian man says, okay, well, I only like black women because of their figure. Well, there are white women that have these shapes too. I've seen plenty of white women that got bodies built like black women. I've seen white women get BBLs. So I'm trying to figure. So what he's saying to me, it doesn't make sense. But again, I would have to dig a little deeper. So moving on, Anise is still looking. She's still looking. She still hasn't found a match. Nate, from we're up to episode 4, and Nate is all excited about the biracial woman. He all excited about her. So he think he can hit the jackpot. Now, we're going to move on from Anise and Suzanne. Suzanne, I love Suzanne. I love the hair. She's so funny and quirky. The only thing that I don't like about Suzanne is that Suzanne her husband passed away. She was married for a while. She has 3 children, and she said she had a great life with her husband, which I believe, because Suzanne is a sweetheart. She's bubbly. She's just full of life. I like her. She just seems like a good time. But the only problem with Suzanne that I see is that she wants to take that life she had with her husband and project it onto the new man. Because she says, oh, if you don't like Georgia State or whatever football team she's talking about, oh, we can't be together. That's a deal breaker. Why? Because that's something her and her husband shared. I don't see that as that's stupid to me. You can have two different loves of two different football teams if you want, because y'all can tease each other. It could be a whole thing in the house or whatever. So I find that weird, and she just wants to do things that she did with her husband. And I'm like, you have to create new memories with someone, not, the same thing, that you were doing with your last husband, I mean, with your husband. So, but Suzanne is sweet though. I think she's going to be fine. Next is Pam. Pam is crazy. But I like Pam though. Pam, to me, I would love to sit down with Pam with a glass of wine and sit on her porch or whatever and let her just tell me the stories of her life, because Pam was a flight attendant for Warren Buffett on his private jet for years. She says she recently retired from that. Her husband, who passed away, he was a musician who played with all the greats. She has pictures, with she knew I think a couple of the Beatles, and she traveled a lot, and she had a second husband too that passed away too. But Pam seems like she has some colorful stories and a colorful life. And I would love to sit down with Pam on a Saturday night with a glass of wine and just let her go. I would love that. But anyway, Pam, her first date was a disaster because she was nervous and she just talked a lot and it was just crazy. And her second date went better. The guy liked her and everything. It went better. So we'll see how that goes. But I like Pam, but Pam has to reel it in because Pam's a little eccentric, but I like her though. I like her. She's harmless. She's still a fun time. Now, the last one, I think her name is Lori. I'm not 100%, but I think her name is Lori. And if I'm not correct, by the time I put this video up, I will correct her name on my video because I'm gonna go back and look it up. But she went on, I'm trying to think how many, I think on her first date. Yeah, she went on her first date. And well, first let's talk about the dating coach told Lori, because she has these big black glasses. And she told her to get, see, look into maybe getting another pair of glasses that'll soften her look, because her personality and her appearance is masculine. When I say appearance, I don't mean physical, I mean her energy. She has masculine energy because she's so, she has to control everything, and she didn't want to do that. And the first date she went on, come to find out the guy that she went to go meet, they already met back in 2017. And for some reason, it didn't work out. So they're in the process of trying to figure out what happened with that. And Lori she is a bit much. When she was talking to the guy, she was like, "Why are you looking over there?" And she was just, "Why?" I noticed she was looking at my feet. "Why are you doing that? Do you pay for a woman to get her feet done?" Like, you ain't gonna get no man, honey, acting like that. You gotta pull it back. You gotta pull it back. Now, one thing I noticed about the dating coach that's on this show, I noticed one thing by the time I got to episode 4. The dating coach said to Lori and Anise, she both said, "Y'all are both strong women with the masculine energy." And I noticed that that was not used for the Caucasian women. I noticed that. And I also noticed that the Caucasian women were more laid back, more lighthearted, more they were open to suggestions and change, where the other two women weren't, where the black women weren't. And that's a big problem. And the reason why is because, unfortunately, in the black community, the black woman has a lot of black women have masculine energy, and it's because have uh, a large percentage of masculine energy as opposed to staying in their feminine, because they had to, because unfortunately in the black community we don't have enough black men doing what they're supposed to be doing. I'm not saying there aren't any black men out here doing it. There are black men out here doing it, but it's not enough, and that's the problem. And a lot of women have to take on dual roles in the household, because both women talked about raising children alone, where the other two women didn't have to raise children alone. They had husbands to raise their children. So that's why I said it's sad to see that, like, the parallel of it. For those of you who have not seen it, just watch it and you'll see. For those of you who have seen it, leave a comment below about it and tell me if you see what I'm seeing, or if you saw something else that I didn't see. I would love to hear any other observations that anyone has seen thus far in the series. And I think Lori is the last one. Lori is a behavioral coach, and she's also some sort of celebrity journalist of some sort, or entertainment news reporter of some sort, because she knows the local celebrities in Atlanta. Like, she's out in that mix a lot. So, people know who she is. So that's why I said this show is interesting to me. It's funny, it's lighthearted, and it's something different. So that's all I got right now. I'm going to come back after I finish looking at the whole show and do a whole thing on it. I just wanted to get on here and say something, because I needed to get you guys a video, because it's been a minute since before the holiday. So I need to get you guys, some content up here. So that's why I did it. Because, like I said, I'm not editing not one damn video, because this is real life. And in real life, we make mistakes, we do stuff. So I'm not doing that. But anyway, you guys have a great one. I'll be back. Check out my links below. If you, like I said, support group link down below, and therapeutic listening calls down below. Again, for anybody who doesn't know what a therapeutic listening call is, basically you book a call and you can talk about whatever you want. If you want um, an assessment to see if you're depressed, if you just want to talk to someone, if you want an opinion, you want to vent, whatever it is, therapeutic listener is someone who will objectively listen to you, do not judge, and offer advice if asked. If you don't ask for advice, we won't give it. If you just want a listening ear, we'll listen. If you want advice, we'll give it. If you want an assessment done to determine if you think you may or may not be depressed or someone in your family, we do that as well. So it's all up to you guys because again, I'm not ramming it down anybody's throat. People who want help and want to get better, that's what they'll do. People who don't, they won't. So it is what it is. I'm not going to be pushing nothing down nobody's throat. All right, guys, have a good one, and I'll talk to you soon.